Breaking news, guys. Andy Ruiz, the fat looking guy, boxer that beat Anthony Joshua and collected all his four belts, has decided that he will charge $50 million if Anthony Joshua wants a rematch. Remember, in that fight, Anthony Joshua made $20 million from that fight. So Anthony Joshua's team have quickly come back to him asking for a rematch, all right? And in that rematch, all the belts will be at stake again. So whoever wins, winner takes all. Whoever wins will take all the belts again. But Andy Ruiz is smart. He's like, if you guys want a rematch, we have to renegotiate the money, okay? I can't fight at $5 million again. Now, if you want a rematch, you have to pay me $50 million, okay? Now, when you bring it to the table, then we can talk about a rematch. So, but I want to quickly run through what happened. Why did Andy Ruiz earn only $5 million while Anthony Joshua, who lost the fight? How do you beat someone and the person you beat earns more than you? For people that have not been following boxing, there's a way boxing works, all right? In boxing, you earn money according to your reputation before the fight. Okay, so before the fight, the amount of money you will earn for that fight has already been decided. It's in the agreement, okay? So once that amount of money has already been decided, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. But the thing is that if you lose that fight, your reputation drops, okay? For your next fight, you will now earn less. For instance, Anthony Joshua has been dropped from number 1, Ring Magazine's number 1, to about number 4. He's no longer number 1 boxing, heavyweight boxing contender, you understand? He's now number 4. But they also did some Ojoro or Magomago by putting Deontay Wilder second. Okay, they put Deontay Wilder second, but they put Tyson Fury first. So because of that, putting Tyson Fury first, it will increase Tyson Fury's reputation for his next fight. Tyson Fury has a fight with an undefeated champion coming up soon. Okay, so but that was the reason. It's the money that was the reason, and Deontay Wilder refused to fight Anthony Joshua all the while, and vice versa. Anthony Joshua refused to fight Deontay Wilder too. The reason is that Anthony Joshua was asking for 60-40% or 70-30%. All right. Basically, they wanted the fight to be worth a total of $100 million. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, they wanted the fight to be worth $100 million. Out of that $100 million, Anthony Joshua wanted to take about $60-70 million, while Wilder took $30 million. And the reason kind of made sense. Anthony Joshua was like, I have 3 belts and you have only 1. All right? I have 3 belts, you have only, or is it 4 belts and you have only 1? So we can't share equal. All right? And Deontay Wilder was like, I'm a belt holder, you're a belt holder, all right? I can't risk losing my belt for just a small share. But when Anthony Joshua talked with Ruiz, Ruiz had nothing to lose. He had no belt. It was like, anything you pay me, that's cool, at least for a chance to beat you. And it worked out for Ruiz, and he got the belt. All right, so you now understand. Anthony Joshua is coming back immediately. His trainer Hearns, his manager Hearns, Eddie Hearn, and they came back immediately, contacted all these boxing bodies, and made them to agree that the next fight Ruiz has to fight must be Anthony Joshua. Okay, but Ruiz has an option too. Okay, for instance, if the agreement does not fall through between Anthony Joshua and Ruiz, then then Ruiz will have to fight somebody else. Then Anthony Joshua have to fight any other person that agrees to fight him. Okay, so Ruiz is now standing on that leverage to say, hey, you cannot, I'm not fighting nothing unless you're paying me $50 million. So, and this is what Anthony Joshua did to Deontay Wilder. Because when Deontay Wilder really wanted to fight Anthony Joshua said, I'm not fighting you unless you bring $50 million for me cash. Deontay Wilder went and met some investors, according to Deontay Wilder's side of the story, okay? He said he went and met some investors, and those people contributed $50 million. He took it to Anthony Joshua and was like, all right, we have the money. Can we have the fight now? Anthony Joshua's manager backed out again of the contract. And you know, in case you don't know, Deontay Wilder vs Anthony Joshua is the riskiest fight Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder has, because both of them had the power to knock each other out. All right. And also, it's the most lucrative fight because there will be so much money. So many people want to see that fight. So much. There will be so much money on that fight. So much. Okay, so that's one of the reasons they were delaying it so that they can build up momentum and earn more money. Instead of fighting for $100 million, they can fight for $250 million if they can just wait for 1 or 2 more years. All right. So Deontay, when he knocked out Brazil last week, he said that he is thinking that he believes that the fight will happen at the ending of 2020. It's ending of 20. That's when they actually planning it. Did not just Joshua is not the only person that lost. Deontay Wilder also lost because he lost all the money he would have met with Joshua. Okay, another person that lost was Tyson Fury. You understand? So Tyson Fury can easily fight this guy now and beat him. I believe Tyson Fury can beat this guy, but I don't believe Anthony Joshua can beat this guy. You see the thing. I don't believe Joshua can beat this guy. If you watch that fight more slowly, you see that this guy is actually a very, very technical fighter. And he has jaws better than Anthony Joshua. Like, Anthony Joshua actually hit him multiple times in that fight. Heavy punches, but he's able to walk through. He's only one of them that floored him. All right? He was able to walk through Anthony Joshua's punches and dish out his own punishment. But what we found out was that Anthony Joshua was easily shaken whenever he lands his own punches. Okay, so I would have, if I was the manager, I would have suggested Anthony Joshua should take more time. There's no point rushing to fight back. He should take more time and fight back. But the other disadvantage is that if he takes more time, this guy is going to fight someone else and he might lose one of the belts. If he loses one of the belts and Anthony Joshua fights him and wins, Anthony Joshua will have to fight again to get back the other one belt. So it's going to be more difficult. So that's why Anthony Joshua wants to fight him. Now Anthony Joshua has to provide the money. And guess what will happen if they have that fight in November? They have already agreed that they will have it in November or so, I think. Is it November or December? But guess what will happen if they have that fight in November and Anthony Joshua loses again? That's probably going to be the end of his career, in the sense that nobody will take him serious again. He will not be able to make so much money from a fight again. You understand? People will be like, oh, we finally figured this guy out. He's no longer that phenomenon. So now what he has to do to bounce back is to start fighting again individually for each of these belts. It's like his career will start all over again. You understand? So that's why people are saying that he should kind of chill, chillax, calm down, and recover properly. Be sure that you can beat this guy before you enter the ring again with him. All right? Don't just rush in again and underestimate him. All right, so guys, I'm gonna stop here. You let me know what you think. Do you think Anthony Joshua should take this fight within 6 months? All right, especially for the rumor. There's a rumor that this guy actually, Anthony Joshua was knocked out in during training for this fight. Another fat guy that Anthony Joshua was training with, you understand, knocked Anthony Joshua out. You understand? So Anthony Joshua's father did not want Anthony Joshua to continue with this fight. He wanted Anthony Joshua to pull out. But if Anthony Joshua pulls out, he will lose $25 million. So that's why his trainers and manager forced him to come in for the fight. Okay? So that's what people are saying as rumor. And they even brought out the guy that he fought with. The guy knocked him out. So you see what happened? Immediately he knocked this one out. This one knocked him out twice again in the same round. Knocked him down twice. Alright guys, I'm going to stop here. You let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe. If this is the first time you're watching any of my videos, click the red subscribe button below. Now, if you're looking for a way to start making money online, alright, go to our website. The link will be on the screen. Just go there, pick the course that best suits you, alright, and start, okay? And then, of course, if you have anything to say, you can drop it in the comment section.